am a board-certified health coach, and my son is Case Johnson, who's in 6th grade here at Holy Trinity, and I have another son in 5th grade over at St. Gabe's. And so I came to tell you what a health coach does today. So is anybody interested in health and wellness in here? Yeah? Okay, what are y'all thinking you might want to be?
A pediatrician.
A pediatrician? How about you?
A therapist.
A therapist, awesome. Has anybody ever heard of what a health coach is? Anybody ever heard of a health coach by show of hands?
Wait, what?
Only one person has heard of a health coach. Okay, so what can you do as a health coach? Well, you get to wear fun clothes. If you like work for yourself, you can dress up in Nike stuff all day long and wear tennis shoes. If you're a guy, you can have all your Under Armour stuff and you can go work with sports teams, right? If you want to work with the Panthers, you could be a nutrition person that coaches all the professional athletes. You could work in a hospital setting. You could work for yourself and see clients one-on-one. And what I do is none of those. I actually go into the elementary schools and I teach children about cell health. So I was going to take this opportunity to kind of share with you all some fun facts about yourself that you may not know. And you may not like me after I tell you this, but it's really cool stuff. So y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready to learn? Okay, so, Bob is a little bit messed up here. Bob's liver should not, that's not a big nose that Bob has. Bob's liver is down here. So who can tell me a kind of cell you have in your body? Can anybody think of a kind of cell just by having a cheat sheet up here? Who's heard of a cell? Who's heard of, what have you heard of?
Brain cells.
Brain cells. Blood cells. What have you heard of?
I was going to say brain cells.
Brain cells. How about what makes your heart run through your body?
Blood cells.
There's blood. And how about these pink things that push all the air through your body?
Lungs.
Yeah. Did y'all know they're made of cells? So I brought in this bouncy ball. And this is how I teach the younger kids. But because y'all are older and smarter, I can go a little bit faster. But if you imagine this, you are made of 70 trillion cells. Everything in your body, your skin is the biggest organ, right? And it's made of cells. You have skin cells, you have blood cells, you have bone cells, lung, heart. Everything's a cell. So if everything is a cell in your body, do you think your cell's important?
Yeah.
Do you think the health of your cells will reflect how healthy you are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So what's interesting is it does not matter what shape you are on the outside because I am skinny, but I'm not healthy. So for anybody that's like, oh, I'm skinny, I can eat all the junk I want, right? That's not right because even though I'm thin, you can't tell what's going on. My cells on the inside are unhealthy because I have been dumping dyes and chemicals in my cells. And what happens is when you dump all these dyes and chemicals and you eat a lot of bad fats that can be in different packaged products, if you go do the fast food thing all the time, you have to have French fries 3 times a week. That stuff, what happens is, if you can imagine this Play-Doh is what bad fat does. Bad fat gets in your body and it surrounds your cells. Because every cell in your body, now get this, ladies, especially for ladies, because everybody worries about, oh, how much I weigh, am I too heavy, I'm going to have the low-fat stuff. Well, guess what? Low-fat is not the right thing to do. This Weight Watchers brownie, you might think, oh, I'm going to be on a diet, and I'm going to eat this Weight Watchers thing. There's 14 grams of sugar in this one thing of Weight Watchers. So who thinks they might know what a kid's limit for the day is on sugars? Because that's messing up your cells. Anybody have any idea in the number of grams? How many grams?
100.
No! Oh my gosh, that is total sugar overload. A kid can only have 16 grams of sugar a day. That's really what the American Heart Association says is your guideline. So does anybody like Skittles? I have a Skittle-holic in my family. 1 pack of Skittles. Oh, yes, I see hands raised. Okay. Venture to guess. How many sugars do you think are in 1 pack of Skittles?
20.
25.
Higher.
100.
44 grams of sugar. And listen, this is not all you guys had that day, right? You might have a pack of Skittles, and then you might stop by Starbucks and have one of these Frappuccinos, 31 grams of sugar in this. Okay, you're getting close to 100 grams of sugar, and a kid should only have 16 grams of added sugar a day. That was staggering for me. I had no idea. So you're like, well, what's the big deal, Miss Johnson? Why is sugar so bad? I told you why fats are bad, like saturated fats. Because they cling to the outside of your cell wall. And so then when your cell wall is clogged up like that, it can't receive all the good nutrients that you're putting in, right? So bad fat surrounds your cells and makes it where things can't get in. Well, what happens with the sugar? So imagine now this big blob of Play-Doh is the sugar that you're eating. And oh, you're going to have some Oreos at lunch, and then you're going to have a yogurt that has fruit on the bottom, and then you're going to have a Gatorade after soccer practice or lacrosse, whatever you're playing. And then maybe you'll have a Coke with dinner. Okay, all that sugar in your body, it clogs your cells like this. So this is like a straw. Your cells have receptors on them, and so the receptors are constantly looking for nutrition. And that's how the nutrition can get into the cell. But when you put a bunch of sugar in there, guess what? That bunch of sugar can clog the end of the cell, and then your body can't get the good nutrition you're looking for, right? And then who's heard of diabetes in here? Does anybody know anybody with diabetes right now that has to? You do? Do y'all know people that are wearing like pumps on their back that shoot insulin in them? Y'all know, and people that have to take shots and all that, right? So the problem with sugar again is this is kind of a funny term, but your pancreas over here is the organ that it's kind of like, who likes to play Pac-Man? Has anybody played Pac-Man before? Okay, so Pac-Man is your little Pac-Man going out looking for the sugar. Well, your pancreas secretes little Pac-Man, and the more sugar you put in your body, well, guess what? You got to make more Pac-Man, right? And so your pancreas just works and works and works, and you just told me you put in, oh my gosh, you just had over 100 grams of sugar today, right? What do you think your pancreas is doing? Your pancreas is working double overtime, and what happens is, it's kind of a funny word, but it's called pancreatic poop out. I mean, it exhausts itself, and it can't function, and that's when you develop diabetes, and that's when you have to get shots of insulin. So you're actually manually putting in Pac-Man into your body to take care of all the silly sugar that you're eating. So I know that sugar is very tasty and important, but for your health, you cannot have a whole bunch of sugar all day, every day. And again, I was a blow pop eater. I would drink Diet Sun Drops, Krispy Kreme donuts, Swiss cake rolls. I love sugar, okay? But I found out that I had some tests done, and as a woman, I'm a train wreck for female cancer. You can't tell it by the outside of me, right? So if you're skinny on the outside, don't think that you're fine, right? It presents itself in numerous ways. You can get diabetes. You can feel sluggish. You can feel depressed. There's all kinds of signs that something's not right at the cellular level with you, okay? So does this raise any questions for anybody? I know that's like a flood of information, but what it's like is, what I can equate it to is, who's been to Carowinds, to the water park, or like Myrtle Beach, where you know that big bucket that fills up, and then what happens when it gets really full? Psh, man, you get splattered with that water, right? Well, that's what happens in your cells. You start filling up your cells with all these dyes and chemicals, red, number 40, blue, yellow, you see all those numbers on the sides. You're filling your body up with chemicals, and you know, there's clear Gatorade now, so Gatorade's catching on. You can have the clear Gatorade without all the coloring in it. What happens is your cell fills up, and then when you put too much in your body, psh, your cells start to burst, and you could come down with any number of health problems. Whatever it might be, inability to lose weight, inability to sleep, if you're not thinking clearly at school, if you're not performing well in the field. I mean, doesn't everybody want to have fun and have a good time in life? I think you guys are probably up for some fun, right? So the way to make sure that you can continue to have fun and have a great, vibrant life is just kind of control those sugars a little bit. Make a conscious effort every day to think and dial back on the sugars. I saw a hand up.
I have a question.
You have a question?
People
Yes, sir.
with diabetes, they take the insulin, but then
Right.
why do they drink like certain drinks every day?
Because
person that I
they're.
know drinks vitamin water every day.
And does the vitamin water have, that probably has some sugars in it?
Yes.
You know, sometimes, and diabetics will carry around little packets of candy too, because when they can feel their sugar level drop, their blood level, the sugar level in their blood, they can feel it drop physically, they feel it. And they have to get something in their body or they could faint and pass out. And so what that means is maybe the insulin that they injected, maybe their little injector thing had finished its cycle, and there were no more Pac-Men to shoot in, and they felt their body drop, so they had to put in man-made sugar to kind of counterbalance what was going on. So it's a balancing.